What's going on, guys? Ironcane here, back with Dribble the Breakers Season 5 video, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a bit of a community discussion with y'all. We did a community post over on YouTube. I just want to ask you guys how you would balance survivors. So I feel like, you know, I've kind of yapped and given my thoughts a bunch, and I'll be giving my thoughts in this video as I normally do, of course. But I feel like it would just kind of be interesting to see what you guys think and what ideas that you guys have to kind of balance survivors and honestly the game at this point, because survivors are kind of just like running the game. So let's go ahead and look at the comments, shall we? Alrighty, so I did a post earlier today saying, yo, this will most likely be for a video, but how would y'all buff/nerf survivors and breakers? Let me know below. So let's look at some of the comments, shall we? So first one we have is from Man of the Boy Jerry 7687. Thank you for your comment, man. All raiders now have Goldo health. That's pretty, except for Goldo now, who has the health of Cell, Broly, and Frieza stacked on top of each other with perma regen. SDM charges and 20 seconds. You guys think he's raider biased a little bit? And 3 people work on it. Survivors now have the authority to permanently delete the Raiders account. Raiders account when they win a game with the new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta passive skill. You're as good as dead. Baby will come in with an active skill. Oh, he's talking about like buffs for survivors. What he's saying. I know he's talking about like this is how the game currently is. This is a great comment. This made my day. Baby will come with an active skill that allows him to commit roots. It's virtual suicide, which will spare himself the shame of getting stun locked to death. Goku gets a new active skill where he makes out sloppy style with some awesome performance. Oh my god, I'm actually crying, bro. I'm actually fucking crying. In a long, detailed, unskippable cutscene that the entire lobby has to watch, like the Great Ape Evolution. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was so funny. Oh my god, that's getting hard for me, bro. What do people respond? You happy at Goku Black and Tamasu makeout? Let's add an auto D-rank to survivors that quit during the cutscene. Honestly, when you think about it, it's the most balanced /nerf to both sides anyone could have come up with. Bro was cooking with that last one, not gonna lie. Okay, that was... I don't think anybody's beating that comment, bro. That, like, dead ass, that is probably my favorite comment I've ever read on YouTube. That actually was hilarious, bro. Oh my god. Alright, buff. I'd make sprint available to every player that joins the game and is already in the game. It'll help new players, and the passive itself isn't broken. It gives a taste to new players, the 5-star skills that might be able to grab. I might say something controversial. Sprint should just be like an ability overall. You just hit R3 and you sprint. And like they can still make it a skill, but like the skill is permanent, where like sprint is like you can only sprint for a certain amount of time, right? I don't know. Like, is that crazy? Like, whoa, I don't mean to, whoa, like, I don't know. Is that crazy? I feel like that's kind of reasonable. Anyways, nerf Jocko ship should be destroyed in 1 hit. I agree. I think that's totally fair. Stuns should have a limit gauge to how effective if they are overused. Kind of like, I guess, like a, you know, like kind of similar to the stun decay system they have, I guess, but it should be improved. This might already be in the game, but in his case, I mean, overall, use for every survivor. Cool ideas. Scouter survivor should be reset to a 90-second cooldown in exchange for only being on cooldown when destroyed. Oh, yes, I agree with that. That makes a lot more sense. Also, you can look at level 2 raiders instead of just level 1. Yeah, I agree. Like, that's kind of silly, but I get it. It's like the funny, haha, scouter gets destroyed, power levels. Energy field should be a health bar instead of a time limit. Honestly, I think if you asked me about energy field like months ago, I probably would have agreed with you. At this point, I don't even think energy field is that bad. Compared to Jocko ship and instant rise and immortal champ and all these other skills, I deadass miss the instant transmission energy field combo. I miss it. compared to what we're dealing with the game currently. So honestly, I mean, I'm not entirely in disagreement, but I feel like in terms of priorities, energy field isn't exactly like up there for me anymore anyway. All right, so it's me, Pablo says, for the stuns, I think making them last less time depending on the guard meter would be the most likely. Oh, like the knockback gauge, okay. I kind of want slightly customizable raiders by giving them different super attacks and passes to choose from. I think that would be great. I think that's one of the biggest things I've said with raiders is they have the skins and voice lines, and beyond that, that's kind of it, right? Where survivors, they have outfits, they have emotes, they have intros, they have outros, they have stamps, and probably things I'm not even mentioning, right? Vehicle skins, so many different things for survivors, where raiders just get skins, lines, and that's it. And you can like put points into certain skills, like whoa. But all right, let's see what else he said. Oh yeah, I feel that would be the easiest once the animations would be from Xenoverse anyway. Yeah, I agree. Let's see what else he said here. A neat quality of life would be to make the lock-on gauge optional. I think that'd be very interesting. It might already be, for all I know. It is not. But I don't check the settings. I like to be able to adjust my key blast aiming to lead shots rather than follow survivors. That's like part of the negative and the positive to lock-on, right? Where some people will actually, they'll actively like shoot key blasts from afar intentionally. That way they can actually physically aim it, right? Like with like level 3 cells. Some people are like crazy snipers with this Kamehameha. Yeah, since it just ends up missing a lot at max lock-on range. Yeah, no, I agree. That'd be interesting. But I think a part of it is that, I mean, some players, it would create this dynamic where PC players would just like, their stonks would go all the way up. Because with keyboard and mouse, your aim would be a lot more precise than, with controllers, or if you're freaking using Joy-Cons or something, right? Like, but that's just my 2 cents on that. I see why it's forced, but I can also see why people don't want it to be forced as well. I'm kind of like, iffy on that. A couple ways regarding stuns. Limit to 1 stun skill per survivor, as well as lock stuns during Dragon Change. That's interesting. So completely just like making stuns unusable while transformed. Not sure how I feel about that. I think 1 stun skill per survivor makes sense. My thought process, and I've kind of discussed this on streams, I've never discussed in the video, but I think what they should end up doing with survivors is kind of have a skill point system, similar to like Call of Duty and like Black Ops 2. I don't know when they started, but I remember just playing Black Ops 2 and they had it. So basically, say you have Solar Flare, right? That's worth 10 points. And then you have an active skill like, I don't know, key detection. That's worth like 2 points. And you can't go over 15. So another, like each stun is worth 10 points, right? So if you equip another, you can't equip another stun, right? So it kind of forces you to make builds around that point system. And if you want to run really cheesy stuff, well, maybe you won't be able to run Jocko Ship. You might not be able to run Instant Rise or Grappler or something like that, right? Just a way to kind of mitigate like these really crazy builds that people are running. But yeah. Just for the love of God, nerf stuns. I mean, that seems to be the kind of the consensus so far. Here we go. Another stun comment. Make stuns unusable during... Oh, another one during Dragon Change. That's interesting. Give every raider a charge skill in some capacity to catch up to survivors. Honestly, I think that's pretty fair considering if you're a raider like Frieza, like Boo, and even Cell to a certain extent, and like Vegeta, how the hell are you going to catch up to someone using Jocko Ship, right? How are you going to do it? But I guess you could just like fly to their general area and hope that you still find them. But the likelihood of that, it's dependent on the map. It's dependent on a lot of factors. I read this in a previous video. I don't remember where. When surrounded by multiple survivors, the raider gets a decreased skill cooldown. I think that's interesting. I feel like this is something they would probably make raider specific as like a passive, which could be really cool. Kind of similar to how like Broly's cooldowns are decreased as he takes damage, right? I think that's interesting. Make raiders who have a roamer like Goldo and Zamasu be able to control how aggressive they are and what areas you want them to lurk around and have them be more of a threat. That is very interesting. Imagine you can kind of make make Goldo and Zamasu kind of similar to Zarbon and Dodoria, where you could like throw them out and like the Cybermen, but you could actually like by doing that, they still move on their own, but you just send them out for a location to actually search, right? I feel like that'd be pretty interesting. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, what I would like is that you could like switch between the characters. I would like that. That'd be kind of sick. But hopefully we get something like that down the line. Probably make level 1s bulkier so it's actually usable escape-wise and allow raiders to actually hide. The raider running and hiding from survivors would be funny, and it would make the game a bit funnier. Add babies already. Bro, that's what the game is right now, bro. I literally have videos of me running like a bitch from survivors, dude. Like, that's currently what the game is like right now. I don't know what bro's talking about, man. I want to play this game that he's talking about. In terms of making level 1s bulkier, there's already ways you can do that with skills in the game. I understand that not everybody has access to that, but level 1s are purely made to escape with. They're not really supposed to be used to fight. Now, it seems like this guy is saying that he's having trouble escaping with them. And I can understand that. Sometimes raiders are just really hounding you. It's really hard to shake them. But that's what level 1s are for, right? And there already are skills that can make you defensive, like resistance, like Gifts of the Gods, that literally Gift of the Gods decreases the damage that you take while you're level 1. If you equip that with resistance and you put on like some, like, I don't know, Beyond Super Saiyan, increase your limit, like you can make a really tanky level 1 build. Like I'm pretty sure I've done those types of videos in the past. So that is in the game technically, but just not like ease of access for everyone, right? All right, so Golden Frieza says, I think you discussed this in a stream, but I would implement a point system. Yes, this is what I was talking about before. So you have 30 points. You can't go over that. It would be 10 for barrier. Barrier, well, it would be 10. IT would be 10, I understand. Barrier would be 5, that kind of thing, or just direct nerf crush combos, like not being able to use IT and energy field at the same time. Again, I actually miss energy field and into transmission. I miss that combo. I hate Insta Rise and Jacko Shape. Am I using it? Absolutely. Everybody's using it. Everybody's using it. It sucks. It's really, really annoying. But how could you blame players when it's just like, it's just so dumb easy. It's 2 button presses and you're gone. Make so the mechanic of stun shortening. If you don't know, each subsequent stun has 25% less effectiveness than a minute. So first stun 100% of the time. So kind of like stun decay, but like time-based. Becomes 1.5 minutes, lowering all 20 seconds. Okay. Interesting. Lowering all 20 seconds break strikes by 2 seconds. Okay. The D chain should be slower when naturally recovering. Interesting. And the cooldown drink should give less cooldown recovery percentage. I don't know. I'm a little mixed on that, but I think the reason why Pretender is suggesting this is because just because of things like memories of battle and like quick sleep, and there's like skills in the game now that can help you recover your dragon chains faster. But I don't think that should, I don't know, like punish the entire class and like make everyone suffer with a slower D change recovery overall. Just nerf those skills, and I feel like honestly normal dragon change recovery is fine because you're getting a percentage like per second. I think that's fair. Essentially, it takes like 1.5 minutes, more than a minute, nearly 2 minutes to get your dragon change back naturally, and I think that's fairly reasonable. Give raiders a way to possibly rewind keys. I think that would be very interesting, and I would like that, honestly. I think that would be very cool. Or make keys an item, take an item slot so that there's a designated area and can only be placed down by the person holding it, so it slow down survivors a little bit from key rushing. I don't know. I'm a little mixed on. That could be fun, maybe for like a different game mode if they ever do something like that. But I feel like that would kind of just people would get really angry because say if you have someone that has the key and they die with it, well, it's just like then the raider can just camp that body with the key, right? They're just like more camping would happen. Sorry, I accidentally unpaused. I was gonna grab water. So it's a little awkward. Please just bear with me. Alright, we're back. I got my fucking baby bottle pop waters because we didn't get regular bottles of water, so we just got a bunch of baby bottle pops. Sorry, I didn't mean to just curse. Just uncover your ears, children. Alright, so where were we? Alright. So maybe add some sort of key sickness to survivors transfers which would make key-based damage less effective or nerf the overall damage and speed of the transfers if they have transformed multiple times that match. That's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. So basically, the more you transform, the weaker your transformation gets. Honestly, I could totally see them making that a passive skill where like your first transformation does a lot of damage, and then like each transformation gets gradually like less powerful, or they do the exact opposite, right? That means like the Super Saiyan 3 passive. To make this a bit balanced, I feel like if I were using Soda or the next time they transform, as long after the first time, the effects won't be as bad, but won't go away fully. Interesting. The effects would also increase higher transfers level when you were level 1, receiving the last 3, receiving the most. I don't think this should affect the super transfer since most raiders don't have them coming out each stage like Frieza, but it would be interesting to see the level 4 round for a long duration. The effects would start to kick in. It is a decent way to limit jumping, especially when the raider is at low level, but this isn't foolproof as the Cyrus could just save the jump to the SDM phase, which I do acknowledge. I just don't want to make a nerf that you can't play around like a nerf that ruined the game. Don't call on how I nerf stuns in a fair and balanced way. Yeah, I think like stun decay is probably the best thing that I can really think of at the moment, or like that skill points system. Raiders can now consume D-change cubes for evolution. Ooh, I kind of like that, but also that's kind of wild. All right, survivors can now damage the raider using their gun. That's a little wild. I don't know about that, bro. That's a little wild. Also, make key raiders extremely hard to find since key rushing is common. Yeah, it's funny because they, believe it or not, they legitimately already decreased the spawn rate of key raiders, and it does not feel like it at all. Best advice in the comments section. I'll give you one of each for survivors buff at proximity chat. I'm conflicted on this because if it was a thing in the game, I would probably be banned. I would probably legitimately be banned. So I don't know. I don't know about that. But also, I guess I could just be a little bit more, player friendly. Teamwork makes the dream work. Nerf makes stuns less effective. The higher the Raider's evolution level. I feel like that should probably be the other way around, personally, because then Raiders would just be dying at earlier stages more. More of a quality of life, but the Raiders do you while your timer increases if the Raider looks... Oh, I think they mean their Dragon Change recovery thing. Interesting. I think one time trial of any passive or active skill would be a nice addition. Oh, that would be cool. Kind of similar to like what My Hero used to do, where you could like try out a hero or like a villain with a ticket or something like that. That'd be kind of neat. Yeah, actually, that'd be really good for some showcases that I haven't been able to do, bro. Big and So Mortal Champion drops the Dragon Balls when you're launched. Be a very strong passive with this nerf. Honestly, I'm not opposed to that. I'm actually not opposed to that. Jocko Ship increased to 100 seconds. I think they should increase the cooldown on Jocko Ship. Make it like 120. Maria Battle reduced by 10%. I think that's fine. Bubbles active skill buff for 60 seconds. So you say that, and it would be funny, but it would get very, very annoying, bro. Just ask Dono Doya how he feels about the bubbles, man. As for stuns, I'm not sure. Make it so you get stunned like one after the other. So cooldowns, maybe add another bar for Raiders, like a stun bar, something to the knockback bar. Interesting. The Charming Pose nerf was uncalled for. Makes fires limited to only one stun. What Charming Pose nerf? Like crazy? Anyways, I think the big problem in my experience is that coordinated survivors can stop Raiders too easily, but random queues with lacking teamwork will just fold. There also feels like a power creep problem where people able to run meta make the games harder for Raiders, so they buff Raiders, but new players, people without the good skills, get punished the hardest because the games just get more difficult for them. Yes, and this has been a discussion because, like, should they balance the game around pre-made? Should they balance the game around casual? Or should they, like, they gotta find a happy medium? I think that Raiders should not, like, pray that survivors need to, like, make mistakes against pre-mades. I think they should try to balance the game in all levels of play and try to find a happy medium as much as they can. I know that's easier said than done, but, like, in a perfect world, I think we should be able to enjoy the game in a casual perspective, but also be able to enjoy the game at a high level as well, right? You know, at a high level as Breakers gets. But I feel like, you know, a part of that is honestly just like the queue system trying to like help things out as well. Because if you're a bunch of babies going up against a really experienced Raider, I mean, you're going to get smacked up. You're probably going to get smacked up even if it's a baby Raider anyway. But, you know, it's just like, I think queuing will definitely help with that as well. But, you know, there's definitely been games where I just like been in the background. I just got carried straight up. So, I'm not entirely sure about, just like nerfing, like raiders, but having a happy medium would be, the best part. All right, Raider buffs. Survivor is supposed to be Survivor nerfs, but we're talking about Raider buffs here. Maybe is he talking about survivors here? Okay, yeah, I'll just read the survivors because we have actually. I'm doing a post tomorrow. I'm not sure when this is going up, but I'm doing a Raider video regarding this, like in the future as well. So I'll like kind of skip the Raider stuff. Survivor buffs, just add Mr. Popo and maybe a Dragon Ball revival system for permanently dead allies. It's funny, if you guys do not know, during the first battle hour, I actually asked them about a mechanic like that, and they said they thought about it, but it's been, like, that was battle hour 2023, or, you know, obviously 2024, so it's kind of obvious that they didn't end up, you know, pulling the trigger on that, but I still think it'd be an interesting mechanics. That's literally what the Dragon Balls are used for, primarily. I guess Raider buffs, or nerfs technically count as Survivor, like, buffs, so I guess I'll read that. Create some ways of anti-camping, whether it is a skill, Bojack moves, Survivor nerfs. Same thing with SOS skill tree, maybe even a stun limit. Every Raider can only be separately stunned every 5 seconds. So kind of like, I guess, like a knockback gauge, but for stuns. Most Raiders break strike is like 20 seconds. Also, let the men do the female charming pose. Kiat. Word. Okay. Damage nerfs and add a feature that makes so keys spawn at a set amount of space between survivor spawn. Interesting. So essentially, like, I guess what Dead by Daylight does, where they like lock the generators. Some of the generators get locked. Like some keys you just won't be able to work on. That's interesting. That's interesting. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Maybe that's like a skill or something. I would have to see that in practice. That could make games more interesting. They can make it so where once a Raider has been stunned, he can't be stunned again for another 20 to 30 seconds. I do think is a little much. And it's a little much. Maybe like 15 seconds, 10. I don't know. I feel like 20. Like once you go into 30 territory, I think that's a little crazy. Maybe 20 is the farthest I'd go. 20 is pretty high though, because 20 is a break strike timing, by the way. But Raiders need damage reduction if they are stunned. Okay. I was going to say, cool money, where you go with this? Raiders need damage reduction if they are stunned. I think that, I agree with that. If they take too much damage at once, they get damage reduction, so you just can't kill in one jump. I think that's a great idea. Skills like Jogger's Ship, Mortal Champion, memories need a big nerf. I agree, 100%. Remove specifically key radars to minimize rushing. I am conflicted about just removing them altogether because I think we've all experienced those games where you just can't find that last key and it sucks. And I don't really think it's fun for the Raider either. So I feel like key radars are a necessity, but maybe they should just make it like one spawns. And like, I guess if an area is destroyed where it spawns, it just goes into another area maybe. I don't know, just something. Because I feel like they are necessary, but they're clearly also a problem as well, right? Remove, specifically... Oh, yeah, sorry, I was just reading this. What is the actual point of scouters? True, bro. I'm saying. So somehow make them better than our breaker stuff. They make passes, add the skills, Bible, chops. Preaching to the choir, buddy. Preaching to the choir, bro. That is exactly what I would love as well. Increase the Raider HP and make stuns less effective the more they use in a match. Make Trunks a Raider. And he doesn't send anything. No cubes, no super time machine, no ETM. So word. Make stun decay never decrease until you evolve, so stun spammers can get punished, and also make all old Raiders have a dash. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Or increase speed. Yeah. My most irritating thing while playing the game is the physics as a survivor. You can barely jump high normally, and you fall so slowly that the Raider just ends you. Okay. Especially if your skills are used up. Let me jump a little higher and fall a little faster. Now, I don't mean to sound like... Bandai isn't sponsoring this video, but like there are skills like instant descent. So to their credit, there are skills in the game that can kind of help with that. I get what you're saying, but I don't know. Because we have skills that do impact like We have a double jump. We have instant rise. We have instant descent. So it's not like we don't have answers to this. I think this person is asking for like a free alternative, but I don't know. Bob, you can still grab any Senzu bean dropped on the ground as long as you're crawling state. Oh, I see what this guy's saying. When you get downed, or maybe when you get... Oh, I see. So you get down, you're like crawling, you can pick up a Senzu, you know, revive yourself. I think that'd be interesting, actually. I don't see the harm in that. And you can crawl into the Saiyan pod. This, I agree. That's literally what Vegeta did in the anime. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. Nerf stunts haven't affected this meter. A lot of people are talking about basically a form of stun decay, where the more times the stun is used against the Raider throughout the match, the Raider gains resistance to it up to 9 times, then it won't have an effect anymore. That's crazy. Interesting. Again, maybe like in a different game mode or something, but that's kind of crazy. This gets reset if the Raider is a different character when they evolve. Simon to Nappa, Nappa to Vegeta, Spopey to Boo. Can you... But like not every person like changes a different character. Rosé diffused. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Okay. Either give Raiders more than 1 break strike in lower levels, or nerf stunts, or maybe increase the time before you can use them again. Giving multiple break strikes, they've kind of have been doing a little bit. You know, Fuzamasu has 2 break strikes. Broly technically has 2. They have been, you know, messing with that a little bit. So, but I guess this guy means to like give them to older Raiders as well. I saw this one Twitter. He said, so survivors can't be camped or tunneled. So we get down after 20 seconds, you'll be teleported into a random part of the map. I don't know. Now I understand camping sucks, but the thing is, I get when you're playing with randoms. If you're getting camped, you're probably dead, bro. I'll be honest with you. But if you're playing with a team, you can counter camping. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying like you know, it's really easy to do. I'm just saying it's not impossible. All it really requires is like jumping the Raider, stunning them, you know, just distracting the Raider. It's a lot of conditions too, like having like an instant res skill like Dende's or like a Senzu, and then just hopefully that survivor has like some active skills to escape with, right? So like that's kind of how you handle camping. But I understand like that's not always going to be you know, feasible in every match, and of course like with randoms that's not really a thing. But you can work around camping. But I don't know about this idea, but I'm open to other like things to like kind of handle camping. But again, with how down bad Raiders are right now, I can't really fault Raiders for camping. Although it does suck, and I don't really encourage it. But, you know, tunneling, I mean, hey. All right. Honestly, I'd make the movement get a bit of an overhaul for survivors and Raiders. I mean, I'm very biased here. I'm pretty accustomed to the movement in this game. Like, maybe Raiders, you can make them, like, a little bit faster, I guess. I don't know. Just moving from, like, jumping to, like, flying. Maybe it could be a little more seamless, but... Alright, every level of damage the STM takes, the startup gets slower. Ooh. That's interesting. I don't hate that. I actually don't hate that. That's pretty interesting, because it just further incentivizes survivors to defend the STM. But I feel like if they were to do this, STM destruction would probably have to get slower as a result, just to make it a little bit more balanced, in my opinion. I don't know why this hasn't been implemented yet. It'd be a huge buff for Raiders. Probably nerf, reduce the adjustments, damage for supers. I agree. I mean, I think some supers need to be adjusted because the damage potential for survivors right now is just insane. Raiders are dying more than they ever have. Reduce the amount of specific attacks to knock back gauge. Increase the speed of basic moves for survivors. I think that's fair. Increase the amount of total time in Dragon Change. But you can do that. You know what I'm talking about? I understand not everybody has access to everything. Well, like, you can technically do that. So that one I'm a little mixed on. Not really much else you can do for survivors without being somewhat unfair, making accountability of the gacha system. We have Winta, our resident data miner. Make half of Time Patrol's duty effect base kits. I understand it. I understand it. I don't know if I'm a fan, though, me personally. Allow Raiders to damage every key once per game. I reset its proc. Oh, I see what you're saying. So, as a way to kind of like, with this in play, give this to all survivors. That makes a little bit more sense. Okay. I'm feeling that a little bit more now. Give raiders stun immunity for a certain duration between the stuns that can't be chained. Another thing about stun decay, essentially. Everybody's talking about stuns. Stuns are the problem. If they don't touch stuns at all in Season 6, Breakers, we got a problem, bro. We got a problem. Clearly stuns are the issue here. It's very apparent everybody's having an issue with stuns. Add a gotcha to the key, please. Also, you have to pay Zen if you place the keys too early. Facts, dude. I would add temporary stun resistance to raiders. Yeah, another stun decay thing. Makes sense. I would nerf them by adding in a 0.5% chance that will, in a panic state near the raider, the survivor may trip and fall. So like Smash Brothers Brawl, but breakers. It's fast. It would likely never happen, but inconvenient. That's pretty funny, actually. I would buff their overall water movement speed. I mean, I can't really say no to that. Like, I mean, who cares? I mean, there's not really that much water anyway, right? 1 stun per survivor. This is another time we've seen this. Or not allow stuns during Dragon Change. Another bit of that too. I'll admit, I don't know if I agree with that. But 1 stun per survivor is interesting. I don't think they would do that either. Shorten the distance of Immortal Champion. Make it so you can't chain Angry Shout with it. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, when you get launched with Immortal Champion, I don't know if I showcased this, but you can use Angry Shout to like stop the Immortal Champion animation. So you could like fall like you normally would, like once you reach like the skybox or like the apex of your launch, right? Increase the length of time you squirm on the ground after you land. Honestly, don't even hate that. I don't even hate that. I actually do not hate that. Nerf Jocko shit by decreasing the speed / distance, making it so you can explore after the first initial burst of speed. I don't really think that's the issue with Jocko ship. People aren't really using it to like explore the map. They're mainly using it to escape raiders. So I don't know if that would really make that much of an impact. It could almost be used like an instant descent, instant rise, but a horizontal direction for short distance. Nerf Bancho Fan. First Bancho Fan slender we have. I think Bancho Fan is great. If a lot of people are using Bancho Fan, you'll really feel it. I think it's definitely a very slept on skill. It's just that stuns are king. Stuns are king. Like, why use Bancho Fan when you just hold the raider in place and then kill them in, like, you know, 2 super attacks, right? I'm exaggerating, obviously, but just like that's why you don't really see Bancho Fan as much. Make it so Ba can't be exploited for memories of battle. It is kind of crazy you can do that. They should get rid of that. And nerf time controller's duty. I think that's fair. Okay. Well, I would say only have 2 or 3 soda machines per match. Nerf the damage on every super attack in the game. Don't know about that. There's some super attacks that are really, really weak, and making them weaker I feel like is a little absurd, but there's definitely some super attacks that need their damage reduced. I agree. Instead, have them all to a half bar instead of a full. Fighting pre-mates who all just jump you kill you under a minute. It's never fair. And make it harder to get your charge back in general. There's already so many skills that make it come faster. Why do they feel the need to give us so many sodas in one game? It's funny because I remember hearing another creator saying it is broken that you can actually destroy soda machines. So it's very interesting. I'm sure anyone who has had a sweaty pre-made know what it's like to fight them and get their charge back every single time. Also, nerf time towards duty or make it impossible for survivors to use barrier when placing the key. They won't do that. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're not doing that, bro. Although I don't disagree, they're not doing that, bro. I don't know people who think raiders are OP or have their head in their ass. That's all I know. They were never broken to begin with. Or reason people feel the way strong because solo queue with experienced players. I agree. 100% I agree on that. 100%. Alrighty. Sorry, I took a little intermission. Where were we? Nate GX says, maybe a raider that gives debuffs to survivors and the raider just gets stronger if that debuff lands. I think that would be really interesting. That's probably like one of the only raider types that we don't have in the game right now. A raider that like actually... The closest thing, now that I think about it, the closest thing to a debuff that we have in the game that a raider can do is Ginyu. So if you guys don't know, when you land a body change, it actually reduces a survivor's dragon change level to level 1 and downs them. It for kind of like no reason. I mean, I feel like if you get body change, you're probably just dead, or if you're not dead, like you're probably through the game, because most people that are getting body change are like level 4s anyway. So getting reduced to level 1 dragon change is a little over the top, but like, you know, it's cool. It's very cool. But I would like to see more skills like that. I feel like that'd be kind of interesting. Maybe give Raider some sort of regeneration by dealing damage. That would be cool. Kind of similar to Boo, where honestly, Cell should legitimately have some sort of regenerative thing. It's kind of absurd that he doesn't. He should literally work just like Boo, where every absorption gives him like some HP. I don't know why that's not a thing. I feel like that's how Cell should work, in my opinion, but I don't know. They've never done it. No more get out of jail free cards. No instant no instant transmission is a little wild. No Jocko ship. No Immortal Champion. Just remove them all from the game. No compensation. Bro, I love how he had to say, I want instant transmission gone. I want Jocko ship gone. I want Immortal Champion gone. And guess what, bitch? You're getting nothing for it. Oh my god. This sounds like my type of guy, bro. Bro is definitely D-ranked a couple times in his day, huh? I want to see the reply to this. We need compensation from my team, though, because... Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, bro, they would never, ever, 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 ever in a million years do this. Never, ever, ever. So, I wouldn't even, like, take that seriously. To make it so survivors are overall slower. It's very interesting. A lot of comments have actually said to make survivors faster. It's the first one that said to make them slower. But will run away when threatened. Have a breakout button come back if you get hit with a chain of stuns. Break. Oh, he means break strike. So as you get hit with more stuns, you get hit with break strike comes back. That makes sense. Scruffy actually is a lot here. Okay. Damn. Stuns. If the Raider gets stunned 3 times in the span of a minute, the Raider can never get knocked back again by an active skill. Only melees. This invulnerability period will last 30 seconds. This will promote smart stun usage if premates cannot abuse it as hard. I also would like to point out, I feel like been a lot of pre-made callouts. If you get a group of good players, they're probably running stuns. It might not necessarily be a pre-made. So I understand like there is like, you know, like pre-mades are kind of like the boogeyman. I understand that. But like if you just get a bunch, 7 good players with game sense, like Breaker's game sense, like it's basically going up against a pre-made anyway, but obviously pre-mades are a little bit better. But I just wanted to point that out. Because I know pre-mades get a lot of flack, but some people are generally just playing for fun or just playing with their friends, right? And they're good players. Jocko ship. Delete. Or if the ship gets destroyed, you will get downed. Regardless if you have a mortal champion. That's interesting. Makes it a little more risky to use. That will allow those pesky Jocko ship users, including myself, to stop abusing it and cancel it when you need to. Also, Jocko ship will now have an 180 sec. 180 is a little wild. I think 120 is reasonable, and maybe like furthest that it goes 150. 180 is crazy. That's literally instant transmission cooldown timing. Like keep in mind with some quick maths, 120 seconds is 2 minutes, right? So just for some quick maths, that would be more than 2 minutes for cooldown there. Memories of battle. Remember when this skill was OP? Sorry, it works exactly like quick sleep now, except being an active skill, it's a passive when your barrier breaks. Yeah, they should nerf it. Old grapple is back now. Totally true. No from the devs. Because Jocko ship and Season 5 so overpowered, we realize as the devs we should not have nerf grapple in the first place. We are nasty hypocrites. Sorry for the I guess it's supposed to be like a message from the devs. So basically he's saying for nerfing Jocko ship, they would buff grapple, which I wouldn't hate, honestly. You're actually probably seeing grapple less now because of Jocko ship. I still use it. I think grapple is great. And I think the versatility it has while you transform is good as well. Goku Black level 2 star. We are totally going to keep this in the game just to annoy survivors. Oh, okay. I think he's speaking as the devs now. But just also to annoy the Goku Black players, you can never use his voice lines after 3 minutes of playing level 2 Goku Black. This is a totally important balance change. Also, we're going to make Goku Black evolve when he takes more damage, just like Frieza. So we're going to have Goku Blacks that are epitome of being also get a Broly evolution. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So yeah, if he's forced to evolve, you also gain some health. Conscious control. If you dodge 60 separate times in ultimate D change, you will be unconscious and get down. This skill incentivizes learning how to control your thumb on the dodge button, or else you'll become unconscious, hence unconscious control. That's pretty funny, actually. Energy field, sorry for those who do not have the field of expertise or the energy to choose the skill. Sorry, confused. We hope. Okay. Bonshu fan. That was a 50-second cooldown. Yes, this is underwhelming. Okay. Maybe deactivate all skills during. Again, people. Do y'all actually what? I think that's a little wild. I think making some skills just not. I mean, that's already a thing technically, but making all skills not work during Dragon Chains, I think is crazy. So the Raider doesn't have to be hit with every skill type or something else like Super Soda's unable to Dragon Change. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Nerf stuns into the ground. A lot of stun slander. And make the cooldown drinks less common. The regular ones, not the super cooldown drinks. Those are fine as is. Okay. Add a delay between consecutive active skills. Maybe a 3.5 second delay to avoid spamming easy escape aggression plays. Buffing the... I don't think they would do that, by the way. Buffing the universal vehicle speed. I wouldn't hate that. Similar to how Jocko's ship is only available when you're not transformed. Okay. I think they should regularly nerf/buff skills. I agree. They typically only do this once per season. I would love if they did it more regularly. It makes it easier to change up the meta as well as stop skills from becoming too OP. They probably need to make skills a little easier to obtain if they were going this route, though. I agree. I think ultimately where this game should go is allow survivors, or just players in general, I know I said survivors, to purchase skills with Spirit. I think it's ridiculous that you can't do that. 7 Raiders, 1 Survivor. Having Vanishing cost 5 limit 1 and Super Transphere, as nothing is worse than losing because that one player using iframes to snipe you with super attacks on the STM. But would be the servers as going from A to B from the servers crash is not okay. Oh, he's talking about deranking. I understand. Okay. Nerf energy field. Again, I'll say it once. I will say it again. I do not... With Jocko's ship Instant Rise, again, deadass missed instant transmission energy field. I miss it. I miss Barrier Bike. I'm telling you, energy field, although it can be annoying, there's worse things in the game right now. But maybe more things should be... It's just like, you know, a discussion for like how bad things have gotten. They make it so Cell can combo off his afterimage because it's far better for survivors than for him right now. Finally, add a Super Transfer Goku Black's level 2. Not a fan of that. Make Goku Black a little bit bulkier. Okay, I mean, I guess he's saying make him bulkier to kind of like, you know, to make it a little more balanced. This transformation will heal him a little bit. That, I think, makes sense. I think Goku Black should heal when he evolves because, like, that's the whole reason why people don't like to become level 3 a lot of the time. Well, D says, man, not gonna lie, it's hard to think about. I personally have a lot to say I would do. Well, D, I appreciate you leaving a comment, but if you got nothing to say, what... Anyways. A modder got mad at me yesterday because I downed them as Raider. Bro's calling some modder out. Okay. Then they self-revived and used infinite level 3 and had infinite Vegeta scatter shot move. Can't enjoy the game for crap. I feel like it's hard to say. Definitely the survivors are very powerful, but if you're in a match where it's just you knowing what to do and the rest of the team is just not doing anything to help with keys, distracting Raider, reviving down teammates, or just letting the Raider kill them. I think it's going okay. Hard to find a nervous survivors that doesn't ruin the game for people just down the game and for people getting matched for new people. Yeah, no, I agree. It's bro. I feel like one thing that people like, it's very easy to be like, fix the game. Like, bro, it's 7 players versus 1. It's hard to balance with all these skills, all these super attacks, key blasts thrown into the mix, maps, civ spawns, crate spawns, raider spawns, key spawns. There's so many variables. I think just to say, like, you know, just fix the game, it's difficult. This is a very difficult game to balance, but I think they've shown that they are capable of making good changes. And I think with seeing everybody pretty much just mention stuns, I really hope that they attack stuns next season, because it's very clear that they are like the main issue besides like Jocko's ship, right? Which I think should be getting a nerf. It's just, I get that it sucks because it's a free skill that's probably getting nerfed, but I still think it needs to nerf, man. Speaking of stuns, nerf the stuns a bit. Dying of getting stunned one time is really damn lame. I agree. For a nerf, maybe something like the Gen Kick mechanic in DBD. I agree. So this is more like key degradation. I think that would be very cool. AKA the Raider, once he knows where the key location is, can go up to it and hold the action button for like 1 to 2 seconds, taking away 50% progress from the key. I think that would be interesting. I think that would be cool. Even 20%, the key has an increased set speed. Yeah, I think that would be cool. I'm so down for this. Maybe make it so stun doesn't work while transfer. A lot of people are saying this, man, and I don't know, man, because it's just like, I don't know. I'm a little mixed on that. I mean, it would just make like my stun like meta, just because you can shoot it from afar, right? I mean, it is meta, but it would just make it more meta. Make more trap-like devices. Nerf stuns, although traps would be very powerful, I think the Raiders should be able to see them. They can. They already can. And hear them so they can destroy it that way, so they balance. And you can have one trap in your load. Bro, what's the Nerf trap device? Bro, we got like 7 people using trap device. I don't think. No offense. I don't know. I just don't think trap device is like really an issue, or really has been like an issue. I think it was maybe partly an issue in season 1, but not sure if I agree with that one. But I appreciate the comment. Most Splendid God. Nerf stuns to not stun Raiders for so long. It lets survivors escape easily. Also makes stuns have bigger cooldown. You can only carry 1 stun. Meta, that way everybody just run 3 stuns at Mortal Champion Choco shit. Only 1 stun allowed. Seems to be a pretty popular opinion here. Probably gonna shoot myself in the foot here, but maybe some movement-based skills like Jago Ship or the missile transformation. Oh, I see what he's saying. So 1 stun per survivor, but also 1 like traversal skill like a Jago Ship or missile. I don't know. That might be a little much. Honestly, I'm more concerned about the item placement in the game than Raiders and survivors, making it harder for key rush, for example. I agree, but it's tough because it's RNG. Like, you literally spawn and the first crate you open is the key, right? So it's just like, it's kind of hard to do that. But maybe they can just make, you know, key radars very, very difficult to find. Nerf stuns. Based. Make killing the Raider harder. STM should be the main way of winning. I agree. I think this game is designed where the STM is supposed to be the way survivors are primarily, you know, winning, right? But I feel like the game has kind of just become kill the Raider every match, right? Like, I feel like the STM is how you're supposed to be winning matches. So I 100% agree with that. And I feel like winning via STM also could be a little bit more satisfying depending. Like, Raiders are supposed to feel like bosses, essentially, right? You're basically killing a boss. It shouldn't be easy. It should not be easy. Regular weak humans should not be able to kill strong builds like this. Yeah, I agree. Increase the health values for all Raiders to keep them up with the new increasingly strong super attacks. Honestly, not even opposed to that. You're going to do one of 2 things. Nerf a lot of super attack damage, or just increase health pools. They got to do one of the 2, because clearly, like, the damage potential is just insane right now. Yeah. Raiders take less damage if they're hit by a certain amount of time after being stunned, and break strike cooldown gets lowered if they are stunned in succession, and either gets rid of a mortal champion altogether, or they're not doing that. Make it so Raider gains a reduced amount of evolution energy for triggering it. Mortal champion giving survivors a 0 drawback escape from Raiders is corny as hell. I mean, technically, the drawback is when you land on your ass and you wiggle around. I mean, but yeah, no, I agree. I'd rather just have the game give Raiders a way to customize their kits. I think this is definitely a really big thing that a lot of people have been saying, myself included. With passes, maybe even super attacks and active slots, so that way they wouldn't just feel left behind as they do right now. Very easy. Remove the ETM altogether so my teammates will actually have to play the game. It's a buff because it will remove these players who get mad to just sit still for 20 minutes. I feel like these types of players are becoming fewer and fewer as the game has gone on, especially since killing the Raider is so much easier now. I feel like you definitely see a lot less of this, but it still exists, of course. Just pre-mades need to be nerfed. Again, I feel like a lot of people are doing a lot of finger pointing when it comes to pre-mades. It's not pre-made's fault that certain things are really crazy. Yes, they're abusing and cheesing them, sure, but just like anybody could do that. It's not necessarily pre-mades. If also players are cheesing and abusing stuff, like what are you going to complain at them, block them too? It's just like, you know, But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. I'm down, sure thing. Oh, I think this is it. Oh yeah, this is it. We made it to the end. Well, this game is effed. Honestly, I remove damage boost passes and nerf escape combos like instant rise and joggle shit makes no sense. Okay, it looks like somebody just commented here. Let me move the screen up. Sorry. Make stuns, disable or raider skills. Make stuns, disable raider skills for 10 seconds. Get rid of the knockback gauge and make Gallic Gun Gloves deal 1 cell health bar. Revert changes to Special Beam Cannon. Bring back Bomba Mike meta along with Grapple being brought back to its prime. High Twitch stream. I think survivors should have lock skills for 1 slot for stuns, and 1 for escapes, 1 for utility, and 1 for buffing transformations. All right. That is all the comments. That is all the comments. This was actually a lot of fun, guys. Again, I am going to be doing this for Raider as well. But this was actually a blast. This is like the first time I've ever done this type of video. But if you guys want to do this more, like kind of community involved, like videos where you guys like leave your comments and we kind of discuss and talk about things. But this was a lot of fun. I'd definitely be down to do it again. It seems like the thing that we saw the most was stun decay or some sort of nerf to stuns. Some movement speed based things and damage reduction for survivors. But stuns seem to be, and Jocko ship seem to be like the biggest outliers, or not outliers, just like the biggest things that people were like mentioning here. But with that being said, boys, that is going to be the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't commented your thoughts underneath this post, feel free to do it in the comments below for this video. And of course, make sure to look out on the community tab whenever I do these types of discussion posts, just so we can kind of like discuss together. With that being said, boys, subscribe to the Ironcane channel for more videos like these, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Take care, stay safe, have fun. Peace out, dude. Peace out.